The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to come join us as we're going to look at a couple different proprietary products that IAMS has got available. I've got with me on the line today Jared Anderson from Market Synergy Group. Appreciate you taking time out of your day as well, Jared, to come share this information with us. We're going to go through a few intro slides. I'm going to hand it over to Jared, let him talk a little bit about the products. Go pretty quickly through these just because I know your guys' time is valuable as well. If you have any questions, you can type them in, but otherwise I will be following up with each of you guys over the next few business days. So jot your questions down. I'd be happy to answer those when I follow up with each of you. Just going to, like I said, start with a few intro slides about a few different incentive programs we've got here at IAMS. I'm going to start with a couple different business builders that we've got here. We've got a referred producer program. As you guys know, in your industry, referrals is how you guys grow your business as well. Same with us here at IAMS. You know, we depend on the referrals from you guys to help grow here at IAMS. So what we do is, you know, not everyone wants to take on the responsibility of building a hierarchy and taking on the responsibility of others. So what we do is, if you refer someone over to IAMS, you enjoy the services you're getting here, we're going to give you $50 when your referral gets contracted. When they write their first piece of business, we'll give you $100 or 20 basis points, whichever is larger. And then for forever, you're going to earn 20 basis points on all the business they write. Now, this, I will mention, it is not coming out of your commission. It is not coming out of their commission. This is something coming out of IAMS's pocket, just as a thank you to you for the referral. So great opportunity. We do pay those checks out quarterly. So a great way to get extra cash just by referring people over to IAMS. We've also got a marketing reimbursement program. So for all the business you're going to be writing with IAMS, you're going to be earning marketing dollars. So for every 100,000 of annuity production, you're going to get $100 put in a marketing reimbursement account for you. Your single premium life premium for every 100,000 counts as $200 for marketing reimbursement. And then for all your life target premium, every 10,000 of your life target premium will also get you $200. So great way for us to help partner, help pay for some of your marketing expenses, help you get in front of more people. Another thing we've got available, now this is for the new producer at IAMS. If you just recently got appointed or still in your first 6 months, you're still eligible for this. When you do get contracted with IAMS, like I said, you do have 6 months to qualify for this. We've got 3 different tiers of different things you can win. $100,000 would get you $750 cash, or we can build you a website and pay for it for 2 years, or get you the latest generation of an iPad. If you choose not to cash out at $100,000, go for $300,000. We'll pay for Social Security software, which is horse's mouth, as well as pay for a $3,000 postcard mailing around Social Security for you. Or you can choose $2,000 of marketing reimbursement or $1,500 cash. If you choose not to cash out there and go for $500,000, you can do one-on-one coaching with one of our seminar coaches, as well as we'll pay for the first mailing for your seminar as well. So great opportunity. Or you can also, as you can see, do Ritz-Carlton rewards. There's always a marketing reimbursement amount out there as well. I think it's around $4,000 for the $500,000 level, or you can do $3,000 cash. Again, you have 180 days to qualify for that, or 6 months. So if you're curious where you stand, or if you hit it, give your marketer at IAMS a call. They can get that answered for you. Here at IAMS, part of our name is service. It's something that Steve and Charles have made put as a priority here at IAMS, you know, to be not the biggest, but be the best when it comes to service. You know, we're going to help with all your case design. You got any cases you're working on? I work in the annuity department here at IAMS. Give me a call. I'm happy to help do the design work for you, get you the illustrations, the paperwork. When you do write applications, Amber and her team do an amazing job scrubbing the applications for you, getting you all the corrections, making sure you're compliant with all your product training, verifying your contracting, things like that. Before we submit business, just to make sure that everything's going to the home office in good order. Then her team actually follows up on the business every 3 to 5 business days for you. So they're really helping as far as getting that money moved, making sure that the home offices are staying on track. Really, the goal with that is to keep you guys in the field doing what you do best. Our paperless contracting is another nice feature. If you do fill out our contracting the first time, once it's in the system, you're in our paperless system. Anytime you want to add a carrier, call Chris, let her know what carriers you need to get added. She can do that with just a phone call or an email, as long as we have your updated E&O. One of my favorite departments here at IAMS is our creative team. I think this is probably the most beneficial for you out in the field, as Jacob and Sean and Aaron do a great job for our agents as far as design work, marketing stuff, logos, websites, business cards, whatever you're needing help with on a design work or marketing wise, Jacob's team can help you with that. If you're new to the business and you don't even have a logo, we'll give them a call, give them some ideas of what you're looking for, color schemes. The goal there is that we design a name for you, a brand for you, and then any marketing we do going forward, whether it be a newsletter, some flyers, it's all branded to you. So great opportunity to let those guys help you with some of your marketing. It can be very pricey to go to a printer or go to a design person to have them design something for you. So let IAMS help you with that as well. If you haven't been to our website, you can see it here on the screen, www.iamsinc.com. A lot of great resources out there. I'm just going to touch on a few of my favorites. Obviously, on our website, you can get forms. You can run some illustrations. We do have a link out there to Annuity Rate Watch, which is a great tool. I use it all the time when we're comparing, guaranteed income. Who's going to give us the best income in a few years? Run it in Annuity Rate Watch. It'll tell you from top to bottom every carrier so that you go meet your client knowing all the options. Anytime you call me for illustrations, that's where I go to run them first. Then you and I can have an intelligent conversation on what the best option would be for the clients. But one of my other great favorite spots on the website is if you go under the support tab, there's a sales resource library. I use this all the time as well. It's got a ton of financial calculators. There's client presentations out there that are client approved, or maybe your client's like, I don't know anything about long-term care. Well, you can go out there and there's under the sales resource library, you can click on the long-term care one, and 10-page document telling you everything you need to know about long-term care. Same with annuities, or maybe they don't know what a Roth IRA is. I mean, just all sorts of great resources. Another great thing out there is their fact finders. Maybe you're working on a special estate case and you need more detailed kind of fact finder. There's probably 50 different fact finders out there that you can use for different situations. So great resource. If you have any trouble finding anything, give me a call. I'll be happy to walk you through it. A couple years ago, when the DOL issues were looming around us, we Charles and Steve said it's time to join the security side of the business. So we did start an RA here at IAMS. It's IAMS Wealth Management. It's kind of led by Charles Jr. and we've got Mike Hansen and Joan over there as well. So it's a great opportunity for you to just really be the full financial advisor for your client, not just taking care of their insurance needs, but being able to meet all their needs. As you all know, when you go into a house and you run into situations sometimes, maybe an annuity carrier will only take a certain portion of their money. Well, what are you going to do with that other money that's left on the table? If you're not doing something with it, you're just allowing another financial advisor to come in and possibly take your client. So I really think it's a great opportunity. Couple things with this, it does require either a Series 65 or if you're CFP, that'll get you in there as well. If you're looking or curious about the exam or anything, give Mike Hansen a call. He'd be happy to answer questions. One unique thing we do have the capability of doing, and I'm going to throw the first poll question up while we're doing this. If you want information about wealth management or this listening program I'm going to talk about, go ahead and answer yes. Then Mike Hansen will give you a call later today. What this listening program is in some states, you may not have your Series 65 or you may be studying for it. And you've got some clients you want to refer over. You can refer them over to Charles Jr. And depending on the state, we can set you up as a solicitor and actually pay you a portion of that fee. So it's a great opportunity for you to be able to start building those assets under management as you're studying, or maybe you just don't have a desire to ever get it. Referring them over will give you an opportunity to possibly, depending on the state, earn a portion of that fee. So a good way to keep the business with you and not letting another advisor come in. So great opportunity. Like I said, it is limited on what states allow for you to do that. So if you answered yes, or if you have questions on it, just give Mike Hansen a call and he will be able to let you know if your state is one of the states that allows it. Life and Annuity Academy. These are something that we do about quarterly or 3 or 4 times a year at least. It's a 2.5-day training. We're actually getting ready to head up to Des Moines to do one of these with Equitrust later today, but it's a 2.5-day training. It's geared toward the agent who's active in the life and the annuity market, really looking to grow their business. It's not going to be a lot of product information. It's going to be more sales concepts, techniques, ideas. How can we help you grow your business? We're going to bring in some of our top producers, guys who have been doing business with IAMS for a long time, who started out at the bottom and have worked their way to the top here at IAMS, going from writing $500,000 of production to writing millions a year. So they're going to share what they did to get to where they are today, some niche products. Some of them will give you some of their marketing strategies. Some of them, one of the guys will be sharing his seminar system with you. Just some great opportunities to bounce ideas off of 40, 50 other people doing the same thing you're doing and get some great information. So I will say, if you do answer yes to this poll question I'm throwing up now, what that'll do is send you out a link for a pre-registration. This does not necessarily mean you're officially invited. We are kind of limited on space, usually 30 to 40 people, sometimes up to 50 depending on the location. So we do require you are contracted with IAMS. If you're doing business with IAMS, there's a greater possibility, the sooner you'll get in. Let's go with that. It's a very popular event. We've got probably 300 to 400 people a time that register. But if you're looking to build a relationship with IAMS, looking to do some business with us, that's what we want to invest in you. This is all expense paid. So we're paying for your flights, your meals, your hotels. So it's a big investment for IAMS, but it's a great way to build a relationship with you all. So if you do answer yes to that, that's going to send you the link. Go ahead and fill out the pre-registration. I do know the next dates are going to be in September, the 18th through the 20th. Location will be up in Des Moines. We'll be co-sponsoring that one with Athene. So great opportunity to see Athene's office, hear about their stuff, but also get some good marketing ideas as well. Last thing before I hand it off to Jared is our Top Producers Escape, or our 2019 Marketing Summit is going to be held in Naples down in Florida, August 25th through the 29th. Qualification for it is a combination of anything below, but a total of 3 million trip credits. So 3 million in annuity production will get you there, and any combination of, as you can see on the screen, will get you and a guest actually there. Golf, spa, everything's covered by IAMS. It's just a great way for us to tell you thank you for the business you've done with us. As you can see, qualification is 18-month period. So it did start in January last year and runs through June. So there's still some time to get the trip credits built up. If you're curious where you stand right now at IAMS, give your marketer a call. They'll be happy to let you know where you're at. Qualification for the next one will start in July. So we'll be starting up a new 18-month period here real soon. And with that, I am going to hand it over to Jared. And we're going to hear about a couple of proprietary products from him. Jared, it's all yours.
Perfect. Give me just a second here. Are you sharing screen, Laura?
I just did.
All right.
There we go.
Tell me when you can see it.
I'm there.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Laura, and thank you for all of you on the line for taking the time out of your schedule. Laura had a lot of great information talking in regards to IAMS and the organization that I've been lucky enough to work with for going on around 13 or 14 years now. So what we'll do now is briefly go through the product offerings provided to you exclusively through IAMS and Market Synergy Group. Want to touch base on really two different product lines and why we've designed the products the way that we have, and where we can position those and where they seem to make the most sense for you and your client. So as you look at the screen here, you can see that Market Synergy Group is a product development distribution company that, as I mentioned, does exclusive distribution opportunities through a select few marketing organizations across the country. What we're going to focus on today is our safe growth as well as our income for life. A couple different product offerings through some pretty large carriers, as you can see on the screen. AIG and Lincoln Financial Group, two very highly rated, recognizable names that we have the privilege of working with, and we'll cover those products as well. We also have a contract and work directly with Colorado Bankers Life for some MYGAs. As you're all well aware, MYGA business is kind of up and down, competitive rates come and go, but we do have that product available, and certainly can talk with your marketer at IAMS to get more information on any of these specific companies. What I want to cover first is AIG. When Market Synergy Group developed in 2014, this was our first opportunity. This was our first concept. This was our first product. We've had a tremendous amount of success with that over the last 5 years, and we'll cover the different aspects of the business that we cover in regards to the design of our product show you a couple examples and then leave you with some things to consider for you and your practice. So when it comes to AIG, we have what I would call essentially 3 different product lines. The Power Select Builder is a simple, safe accumulation product on a 10-year chassis that has some incredible crediting options, some great volatility control strategies, as well as your traditional S&P and most recently Russell 2000 indexes to really diversify your portfolio within what you are doing for you and your client. We do have a shorter-term product in the Power Select Builder 8, which will offer a premium enhancement of 4% in most states. This is fairly new to us. It's just one of those shorter-term solutions for those individuals who aren't looking for the longer term, but great opportunity there for accumulation as well. In addition to that, the Power Select Plus Income with 2 different income rider options that we'll go over here in just a moment. Just first to cover some of the volatility control options that are available on our Power Series through AIG. The PIMCO Global Optima is fastly becoming one of our more heavily elected crediting options within the policies that we're seeing issued on a regular basis. It's really a combined global diversification with active risk management. The easiest way for me to explain this is it's really a portfolio within an index. You have international, emerging markets, U.S. small cap, mid cap, and large cap, and then that's managed on a daily basis based on volatility within the marketplace. And I'll just share with you, this is a strategy that's up around 7% year to date. So doing exactly what it's designed to do, and it's a little bit more aggressive in regards to the equity focus that it places, which gives us what I oftentimes refer to as our home run returns. Certainly some double-digit opportunities in there because of the way this specific strategy is designed. Going down the scale a little bit to a more conservative look, the Merrill Lynch Strategic Balance Index is a very simple, safe accumulation opportunity through S&P 500 and Merrill Lynch 10-year Treasury futures. So this one is unique in the fact that it's very simple. We take a look at Treasury futures on a 3-month rolling basis. One goes in, one goes out, and this gives us an opportunity to really take advantage of a steady rise in interest rates. A lot of times what we see in these vol control strategies is, we're looking at things from the standpoint of bond prices over the last 20, 30 years. This one is one of the very few, if not the only one, that gives you the opportunity to really take advantage of a steady rise in interest rates. So a portion of the S&P as well as a portion of fixed income, managing to a lower volatility, therefore giving more consistent returns, which we like. And I'll go through here in just a second what makes sense from an allocation standpoint for us. But really these two are designed to do well in different market environments, which complement each other tremendously well when we use a combination of the two. So again, just to go through, everyone's familiar with the Russell 2000 as well as the S&P 500. We've created a chart to show you, the higher return potentials obviously have the higher volatility levels in the Russell, and then on down through the S&P, PIMCO, and MLSP strategy. So real quickly, what I want to do is show you a simple, safe accumulation on a 65-year-old. One of the opportunities that we see in a lot of the sales concepts that the people that are using out there today that are selling this product are, maybe I have a client who doesn't necessarily know if they want income, but we want to be able to show them what that looks like. So oftentimes, I know when people are talking about our product specifically and using it in the planning portion of what they're doing with their clients is they'll take a look at this and say, how can I utilize the free withdrawals in what appears to be a pretty powerful story within the crediting options that are available and make it look like an income rider. So again, oftentimes concepts that are used with us is let's see what the highest guaranteed income rider provides, and let's try and match it with free withdrawals and see what happens. So as you can see here, and maybe you'll be following my mouse, we've done $1 million case, and we've allocated into 3 different options here. And again, I'll talk to you about why we do that here in just a moment. But for us, it makes the most sense. If somebody walks in to your office and they say, hey, I have a 401k and my advisor has me 100% into the S&P 500, what do you think? What we've missed oftentimes in these FIAs is how can we find the highest illustrated number, which necessarily doesn't always work out to be the best case scenario. For us, one thing that we preach often here through our market research at Market Synergy Group is diversification within an FIA makes a lot of sense. A lot of these volatility control strategies will work in different economic environments. So what we're looking to do is maximize the returns on a consistent basis, so we're not dealing with conversations around what happened, this specific strategy didn't perform when the others did. So as you can see, this is an example of matching the highest guaranteed income rider in the industry, taking out $64,000 a year. After 30 years, you can see the total withdrawal amount is $1.92 million, and we still have a contract anniversary value of $620,000. So oftentimes these products are positioned in a client's retirement portfolio as accumulation opportunity, with the idea that there may be some potential need for income. So it's easy, safe conversation to have. You know, this is showing an illustrated rate of 5.6%. It's allocated within the different crediting options, which again, for us, makes a lot of sense. Okay, talk briefly about the Builder 8, which, as I mentioned, is a shorter-term product that has different crediting options, but also has a 4% premium enhancement. A lot of times clients are interested in getting a head start, is the way that we like to put it. So this is a shorter-term product that's certainly available to all of you contracted with IAMS through the AIG Market Synergy Group product line. But just to briefly touch on that, there's some different rates there, and I'll just show you another quick illustration. The illustrated numbers aren't quite as high. The crediting strategies are a little bit different. It's a shorter term product. But again, you can see here's an opportunity to look at an accumulation with $1 million, starting with that $40,000 head start, as I like to refer to it. So as you'll see at the top, one of the things that I mentioned, and I'll continue to mention throughout the conversation that we have here today, is that we never recommend an allocation to 100% to any one given crediting strategy. Just doesn't make sense to us from a planning perspective, and hopefully that makes sense to you as well. So what else do we do here at Market Synergy Group? We do a lot of research, as I mentioned. So one of the things that we've recently put together is how can we utilize multiple indexing options and come up with what we oftentimes refer to the best combination, or what we see as the potential best combination, I should say, by diversifying within these specific strategies. So we do the research and say that for the Builder 8 optimal allocation, which is a common term that we use here, we're going to have the ability to illustrate you somewhere in the 5.5% range, but more importantly, 93.3% of the time, you're going to see a credit based on historical returns. So what we're again trying to accomplish is avoid that conversation of how come I didn't have a return this year when the market was up, my strategy was down. Diversification. And these indexes are designed specifically for that, to work in different economic environments. So diversification within the product that you choose, in our opinion, makes a lot of sense. Optimal allocation for the Builder 10 is a little bit different, and as I mentioned, has a little higher return. However, historically speaking, over the last 30 years, there would have been 0 years in which you would have had to have that conversation at a crediting term where there was a situation where the client received a 0. So again, diversification really helps. We can't emphasize that enough. I know that we talk to the folks at IAMS about that on a pretty regular basis, and hopefully this will make a little bit of sense to you as well. Again, that was a brief overview on our accumulation opportunities through both the Builder and the Builder 8. What we'll talk about next is our guaranteed income, and what, in my opinion, is becoming one of the more popular products in the industry today. And as I mentioned, through limited distribution partnership, certainly with IAMS being one of our key partners. So our AIG product has 2 different income rider options, the Lifetime Income Plus Flex, as well as the Lifetime Income Plus Multiplier Flex. We just recently made some changes to the income rider to make it even more competitive, which in my opinion, like I said, is putting us at the top of the game from a competitive standpoint. Prior to the rider activation, you have the ability to change from joint to single, which wasn't the case in the past. No elimination of income credits or doubling feature, and no locking in of the lifetime income withdrawal. So if you've wrote our product in the past, you know that was one of the things that we got a lot of feedback that said, this isn't something that we're real comfortable with. I have to choose joint or single at time of issue. You still have to do that. However, you have the ability to change it once you elect that income. In addition, we're going to still continue to see roll-ups if we take free withdrawals. So there's some great planning tools that we're working on creating around this specific concept that will really allow you to maximize your income capabilities within either one of these income rider options. Another thing I like to focus on is our payout factors. Certainly, there's a lot of products out there, and you have a lot of choices in what it is that you choose for your client. However, one thing that I like to pay close attention to is there's really only one number that matters, and that's the ultimate income number. Sometimes we'll see income-based bonuses, sometimes we'll see high roll-ups. All sorts of factors go into the design of an income rider, but ultimately the end result is what matters. So as you can see here, what we focus on is not necessarily the big, shiny objects up front, but however, how can we maximize the income? So if you look at age 65 at 525 for payout factors, that's one of the highest in the industry. With a 15 basis point increase, this allows us to do planning, not knowing exactly when that client's ready to turn on income, but knowing that we can continuously be competitive each and every year that they continue to defer it. So let's talk about the Lifetime Income Plus Flex, which is our guaranteed income rider. Okay, this has 9.5% simple interest roll-up. So in any given year that you don't take a free withdrawal, you're earning 9.5% that's applied towards that income base and then factored into what your payout factor is. So as you can see, after 10 years, your income base of $100,000 has the ability to grow to $195,000. Based on your age, we'll multiply that simply by the payout factor, which will give you some pretty competitive numbers. So again, prior to the lifetime withdrawals with the flexibility of the Flex Rider, now we have the opportunity to take free withdrawals and not affect your payout factor as it did in the past, as well as give you an additional credit of 9.5% on a pro rata basis in the event that you need to utilize that free withdrawal. So what we've found is through research and through feedback from organizations such as IAMS is we needed to make a few changes, and we're certainly excited to announce that we've actually done that within the last 6 weeks or so and have gotten even more competitive. So keep in mind, if you've sold this in the past, no longer a requirement to select joint or single. Do not select that until you turn on income. In addition, you do not lock in your payout factors, which is a big change for us and puts us in even more competitive position. So what does all this mean? I mean, as I mentioned to you earlier, we do a lot of research around competition. You can see on the screen right there. Laura mentioned to you Annuity Rate Watch. Oftentimes, we use that tool as well, but you can see here in a single life scenario, the ones would be represented by the new changes to our AIG product and where we stand. So again, we're a product development company that tries to focus on this specific area, which is the most popular times for retirement. And we feel like we've really, we're really onto something. And then in addition to that, as I go to the next slide, we get even more competitive when we look at the joint scenarios, because through our research, we found that oftentimes you as planners are planning for both husband and wife, and joint income is becoming more and more popular and something that makes more sense so we can pay out till the death of the second individual. So as you can see there, we jump up tremendously from a joint income perspective, simply because we only have a 50 basis point reduction in payout factors for joint. Others can be somewhere in the 70 to as much as a point range in reduction for those joint income scenarios. We knew based on our research and feedback that this was an area we wanted to focus on. Quickly now, I'll cover the Lifetime Income Plus Multiplier Flex, which is a great design for those early income scenarios. Industry is going in the direction where we have these performance-based income riders, and we think we have something pretty special with ours. Simply put, double and match is a term that's often used here. During the deferral stage, any credit that you receive will get doubled and applied to that income base. Once you trigger that income, you get what we oftentimes refer to as a paycheck increase. So I'll show you a couple examples here. We've chosen a strategy that, or several strategies within our crediting options that has a 5% return. In that given year, there's 10% that's applied to the income base. More importantly, once we go towards the income portion of this income rider option, if we have a 5% return, our income is increased by that same 5%. So for instance, if we have $10,000 in income that's coming in and our crediting options gives us a 5% credit, we now jump up to $10,500. That's our new number, locked in for life. And what's even more important about this is we don't change the payout factors. So for those early income scenarios, which you have the ability to turn on income with this product within 30 days, we start at the exact same as our guaranteed income rider, and it puts us in a really competitive position with the rest of the income riders that are out there today. To show you a couple examples here, 65-year-old no deferral. As I mentioned to you, the highest income rider in the industry is $5,700 for the Allianz 360. Our guarantee over 20 years is $105,000. So you're giving up $9,000. If we look at just an unfavorable scenario, we beat it by almost $12,000, and then a most recent just S&P illustration, which is not the highest of any of them, grows it to $178,000. So our idea around this design is for those immediate income scenarios, why not give the client the opportunity to keep up with what we refer to as equity inflation, right? For me, performance-based income riders make a lot of sense. You guys and gals are in the industry to sell the performance-based through the FIAs, right? We don't sell fixed annuities. Why are we selling fixed income riders? For those clients who are willing to give up a little bit in the very beginning to have that potential for that upside. And this shows you exactly that. So I'll show you a couple quick illustrations here. As I mentioned, if we look at $1 million, which oftentimes is the number we use for simplicity purposes, a 65-year-old who chooses to take income immediately. With our multiplier product, we start at $52,500. As I mentioned, the highest guaranteed income in the industry, I believe, is $57,000, which we all know that number stays stagnant and stays at $57,000 for the rest of that client's life. With the performance-based capabilities of the multiplier, you can see that this number grows over time to what we're showing as $107,000 at age 79. Once the account value equals 0, we've essentially capped out and we move on, and that's our income for life for as long as that client will live. Another quick concept that I'll share with you is oftentimes the agents that are presenting this product and who have found it to fit within their practice will go directly to the unfavorable page to show you the power of the design of this income rider. This is 100% allocated to the S&P 500, which again, I would never recommend. However, this really, as I mentioned, shows you conceptually how this can work. On the unfavorable page, going back to our starting income of $52,500, $57,000, as we mentioned earlier, was the highest in the industry. But if we see a negative 1% annualized return over 10 years, we're still jumping from $52,500 to $68,326, which is over $10,000 higher than the highest guarantee in the industry. So you can see conceptually why a lot of people think this makes sense, and this is fastly becoming one of the more popular products, certainly with us, and jumping up industry-wide as well through the exclusive distribution opportunity of Market Synergy Group. A couple additional details: 4% bonus on the 8-year product, as I mentioned. Free withdrawal information you can get from your marketer at IAMS. But the last thing I want to touch on with AIG is the amount of marketing material that we've created that IAMS and the rest of the staff has full access to, that allows you to put this information in front of a client and really have a good conversation about how this specific product works and what it can do for you in your retirement. I'm just showing you a couple examples here, but as a product development and research company, this is a lot of the things that we do. How can we help your clients better understand not only their retirement opportunity, but the products that we provide through Market Synergy Group? A couple additional informations to make sure that we cover. Moving on, what we want to talk about now is our most recent product launch with Lincoln Financial Group. Obviously a super strong company, super strong name, A+ rating, the Lincoln Retirement Safeguard. We just launched this product roughly 6 months ago, starting to gain a lot of traction on it. What we wanted to do here is give clients flexibility, okay? As I mentioned, we do a product development design, so we wanted the flexibility to say, if we have one asset, how can we get 4 uses out of it? How can we provide an accumulation potential? How can we provide income for life, confinement benefits, as well as enhanced death benefits? And that's exactly what we did with Retirement Safeguard. I'm going to skip that slide, but talk to you about the 2 different versions that we have available within the Retirement Safeguard. All right. Version 1 is the standard, where there's no charge for those clients that say, look, I've got this set of money here that I don't know exactly what I want to do with it. I may need to use it for income. It may need to be used as a death benefit. It would be nice to have some sort of a long-term care feature on there, but I don't necessarily want to pay for it. So we certainly have that standard version. You get an income-based bonus up front of 15%, a multiplier of 150 during the deferral. In addition to that, the minimum income-based rate is 150 as well. So what that means is if we look at this thing and we defer it out for 10 years, if there's been no performance, we know that the worst-case scenario for that income base is 150,000. So pretty solid when you think about having a 5% simple interest roll-up on a product that has the performance-based capabilities for your income as well. The enhanced version is what we refer to as our fee version of 1%. That simply gives you a multiplier of 175 as well as a guarantee of 175. Again, that's for those situations in which the client says, I know I want income, I need it in 10 years because this is a 10-year wait with this specific product, and I want to maximize the amount of income I can get, but I also want to have that cushion of a guarantee, knowing that my $100,000 worst case scenario for income will be 175 after that 10-year time frame. So there's different options available with that as well. A couple different crediting options on there, but it would make more sense if you had the opportunity to talk with your marketer IAMS to go through the specific options that we have with BlackRock as well as S&P 500 strategies within the Retirement Safeguard product. Okay, so where does this fit, right? When we look at accumulation or level or increasing income, withdrawal solutions, level or increasing income with fee, I've put up there. on the screen some of the more competitive products in the industry today. So I want to talk to you about where it fits. For accumulation opportunity, you can see within our slide here, the Lincoln Retirement Safeguard has an illustrated rate of 4.83% if we choose the daily risk control. But what we have in addition to that is a lot of other features. 227 in accumulation, also have a death benefit of 348 in this specific scenario. So if you're looking for simple, safe accumulation, this certainly competes in the marketplace today. Again, this, in my opinion, is a little wild because this is somewhat of an illustrated game. You have to believe in the integrity of the carrier that you're working with. We're certainly excited about having a partner in Lincoln with an A+ rating, and feel like we've got something pretty special there. But in addition to that, we want to have the other options available within this product. So a no-fee version of increasing income, you can see the highest in the industry, 55 deferring for 10 would be the North American Prime Path, using their Mark V crediting options. Initial income for them, somewhere around 13,000, just a little bit, almost 14. We're at almost 18. Our guarantee is over $500 higher than them. And then from a performance-based standpoint, you can see that we're providing you with 32% more income in that specific scenario. And what I like to focus on is not only the performance-based, but what's the guarantee as well. So we know worst-case scenario, most likely we'll fall somewhere in between. We'd love to fall ahead of there, but it doesn't always happen, and we certainly know that. Oftentimes we fall ahead, sometimes we fall below. 55-year-old deferring for 10 years, increasing income options, which in my opinion is becoming more and more popular, keeping up with what we refer to as equity inflation. So you can see the initial income up there. The Athena Agility 2-year Janus, real returns of 857. They are higher than us on initial income and just barely higher than us on guaranteed, and the performance-based number is substantially higher. However, what I like to point out here is they have one S&P option. If we compare apples to apples with S&P options, you can see the difference there. So again, it's a game that we have to play every day in this industry, an illustrated game, if you will. If you believe in the 8.57% returns that can be provided for an FIA, then I would say that's a product for you. I'm not a firm believer in that. I think the numbers are a little bit grossly exaggerated, but the reality is they do have S&P options there if you want to compare apples to apples. You can see those two different ones on the screen as well, and that gives us a 59% higher income if we compare two different S&P options. Level increasing income with a fee, again, becoming more popular. The New Heights 12 is pretty popular for this specific scenario. How do we do this? Well, our guarantee is around $1,100 higher. Our cumulative income becomes 58% higher from an illustrated income standpoint. Taking a look at the another option with even our AIG Multiplier product, you can see that in this specific scenario with the increasing income, I take it back that the previous slide was on level income. This would be the increasing income option. You can see that the Lincoln Financial does provide on these longer term deferrals 34% difference. And we did this by design, right? We have an AIG product that has increasing income that's super competitive for the early income. For those longer term deferrals, those individuals looking to wait, or for you doing some sort of a laddering plan, we certainly have an opportunity for you to mix two different carriers there and have a solution for both of them in that specific situation. So the last thing I'll cover is the withdrawal solution. Oftentimes we see individuals taking free withdrawals to maximize the income and get them to a specific age to turn on that income. We fall somewhere in the middle in that range, but I think it's only fair to show you every single thing and where this specific product competes. So 44% difference when we compare the bottom two to where we're at. Again, initial withdrawals for us are around 12,500. And you can see that the cumulative income to age 85 is 270,000. So certainly competitive in that specific scenario as well. Laura, I'm going to stop it there because I think we've covered enough information to where we can, I know every time that we do one of these, you make a phone call to each individual that was on the line and certainly can answer questions. You know that I'm available at all times if additional questions come up. But what I want to point out to you guys is that Market Synergy Group, through our partnerships with organizations such as IAMS, are doing everything we can to provide you with product opportunities within the conversations that you're having on a daily basis in order to maximize the capability to have products out there and available. And we're continuously working to come up with new concepts and ideas. And we really think whether that be guaranteed income, simple, safe accumulation, performance-based income in early income scenarios, or those longer-term deferrals with two A+ rated carriers, we really feel like what we bring to the table is special, and hopefully you've seen that in the 30 minutes or so that we spent together. I'd ask that if you have a case that you've previously worked on, that you call your marketer at IAMS and ask them to run you a similar situation, same age, same deferral, same premium amounts, and just see where we stack up. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what it is that we have to offer. Again, I want to thank you for your time. I know that you guys are busy, and taking time out of your schedule is important. Hopefully you learned a lot of great information on some really competitive products that are out there in the marketplace today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jared. I am going to throw our last poll question up real quick. If you do want information on the products that Jared covered today, just go ahead and answer yes to that. What that'll do is we'll send you out an email with the brochures, rate sheets, and things like that on both products. But like Jared said, I will be calling each of you individually over the next few days. I am up at the Academy the next 2 days, so I'll probably be Monday when I get in touch with each of you. I'll try and make some of those calls today, but write down your questions, let us know, give your marketer at IAMS a call. We're happy to help you. But again, thank you, Jared, for taking time out of your day, and thank you, everyone, for joining me today.
Yep.
Bye.